Hello and welcome to today's show. It's Yanni again. Nice to have you with me. And today we're going to talk about joy. Joy in the morning. And when I'm saying joy in the morning, I don't only refer to joy when the sun comes up, when the sun rises. That's not the only time that I'm talking about joy. Joy can also be after a time of so-called darkness, where it was a tough time, a tough day, or a tough time in your life. And the reason why I decided to share a little bit on joy today is because most people think joy and happiness is the same thing. It's got the same meaning. And if you look in the dictionary, yes, it's basically got the same meaning. But there is really, intrinsically, there's a very big difference between the two. Because happiness can come and go. So if you are sad and you need something to perk you up, someone can bring you some flowers or whatever, and okay, now I'm happy because someone brought me flowers, or I want something and I go and get it for myself, and now I'm happy again. But that's happiness. So you can sort of go up and down. But joy is something that's really on the inside. It's almost like the two opposites. Either a person is joyous, a joyful person always, and when you meet them, it doesn't matter when it is, doesn't matter whether they have tough times or whether they have hard times, they're always full of joy, and it's nice to be around them as well. But then you get the other person, they're always angry, and it's almost like these two opposites. And if a person is an angry person, doesn't matter whether they smile or whether they're not, you never know when they're going to bite. And that is really the difference. Now, as always, I'm just going to dig a little bit deeper into the meanings. And joy, when you look at some of the original languages and where it comes from, and even in the dictionary, joy means to be joined. So to be joined with something or someone, to rejoice, and it means gladness. That's really what joy is. So it's not just, someone brought me flowers, or someone gave me a candy, and I'm so happy about that. No, it comes from the inside. It stirs up from the inside. And then joy is also strength. That's when you really go back into some of the original meanings. It means to have strength. And joy gives you strength. There's even in the Bible, there's a scripture where it says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. So that is what joy does. It strengthens you. It just doesn't just perk you up for a little bit and then you can go on. It makes you strong. It's like a place of safety. It's like a stronghold, refuge, and it's even like protection. It's like a hedge of protection around you when you are joyous. And on the other hand, people that are angry, many times they've got aches and pains, and they don't understand why they've got these aches and pains. But that's why, because they've got this anger on the inside of them. And there's even a proverb that says, laughter is like medicine to your bones. And that's what joy is. Joy causes you almost to laugh easy, to be joyful all the time. And that is like medicine to your bones, where anger on the other side, there's some negative stuff that's even excreted in your body, and it's not good for you. It's not good for your relationships. It's not good for your body. It's just not good. And so that, I think, is why it's so important for you and I to understand the difference between joy and just happiness. Because like I said earlier, situations and times can be very hard and very difficult for you. But when you have joy, when you look at the circumstances and you say, I will not allow these circumstances to dictate to me. I will overcome with this. And they've even did studies, and they say when you laugh, even if it's a fake laughter. Your brain, your body doesn't really know the difference. And there's even movements. I remember a few years ago, specifically in India, they had these, they called it laughter clubs. And people would come together and they would start laughing, and it's like a fake laugh. And I want you to go and practice it. You don't have to do it right now, but after you listen to the show, and I want you to go and practice it. But they say your body doesn't know if it's a fake laughter. So you can go, ha, 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 ha. And your body doesn't know that it's fake. So whether you, wow, I'm so, overjoyed and I just laugh and I'm happy and I laugh with people and so on, there's no difference. Your body and your brain doesn't detect the difference. So even if you don't feel as if it's time to laugh, decide, I'm going to laugh, and start. Even if you start off, ha, 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 and you'll see, just keep on with that for a few minutes, and you will see your whole body starts feeling different, and even your brain starts responding. And eventually you can even burst out in laughter. That's how interesting it is for our bodies. And like I said, the joy is like the opposite of grief. Now, grief is like hurt, pain, and anger as well. And like I said, a person is either joyous or they're angry. So you and I can decide. So if I want to be angry and I want to be offended by stuff, then I'm going to be offended. But you know what? Most of the time, it hurts me. I think almost 100% of the time, it hurts me rather than the other person, especially if someone said something to you, for example, and you feel, oh, that really hurt. Sometimes that other person doesn't even know about it. So now, and I used to be like that. I sort of used to carry these grudges against people. Someone would say something, and for a week, 2 weeks, it would bother me. And then I would see that person again, and they're friendly and all that. And then I realized, but that person, maybe they didn't even realize what they said. They didn't think of me. And that's when I decided, and I want you to apply this in your own life as well, if you don't already. Do not let someone stay rent-free in your mind, because it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it, because you're hurting yourself, you're not hurting the other person. It's the same with anger. With anger, you're hurting yourself more than the other person. And because people start avoiding someone who's always angry, but someone who's full of joy, people are attracted to this person, and this person is just surrounded with other people, also friendly and also joyous. Just the other day, Judy and my wife and I went to a coffee shop, and as we came out of the coffee shop, just at the door, there was a couple just coming in, and they had a young boy with him. He was like 11, 12 years old, and he looked a little bit shy, and he kind of, he looked down. He didn't really look up, and didn't really look us and other people in the eye. But for some reason, and I like to do that, so for some reason, I just kept on looking at him, and he must have felt that. That was as we just left the coffee shop. And after a few moments, he looked up, and I just smiled at him, and his face just lit up. It's almost as if that whole place was just transformed with a smile from this little boy. And you could see this, although he doesn't portray it so much, but when he smiled, it's as if his whole face transformed. It is the most beautiful smile that I have seen in a long time. And that comes from inside. You can't smile like that if it doesn't come from the inside. So you have a choice today. Decide whether you're going to be angry or whether you're going to be full of joy. And look for the things that bring joy, the things that bring freedom. Because remember, joy is really, it's like a stronghold. It's like a place of safety for you. So if things start going wrong, or it's tough or whatever, just start laughing, just start singing something, uh, joyous maybe. And I'm just thinking, let me just share this last thing with you. Judy and I, sometimes we crave for some of these old movies, nice movies. And a while ago, we watched a movie called Heidi, but it's from the original version. It was not the black and white, it was the colorized version. But this little girl arrives at her grandfather's hut in the Alps, because he doesn't want people around him. For years, he has never spoken to anyone. And I think it was her aunt, she just dropped the little girl, Heidi, at her grandfather. And the people they were very upset about it, actually, because he was an angry old man. But this little girl, her role, it's Shirley Temple, was playing the role of this little girl when Shirley Temple was a little girl. And she was always singing, and just that joyous atmosphere that she brought into her grandfather's hut, that started changing him. And after a short while, he was also starting to sing and starting to have this joy in his heart. And that actually healed him, so that he actually met up with the other people, and it brought peace in the whole community again. So remember, joy comes in the morning, but you can also stir this joy up by just starting to laugh and decide to be joyous. And look at other people. When you do that, look at their reaction. They're going to be drawn to you. Some are going to look at you weird, because sometimes we don't see that so much anymore today. But that's a challenge for you, and it's a challenge for me. So wherever we go, let's be full of joy, and let's bring some laughter and some light and some peace and some joy into people's lives as well. Thank you for listening to me. I enjoy having you with me, and I'm enjoying being with you. You have an awesome day. Until next time.